Why Days of Our Lives Kristen and Brady are meant to be trigger warning. Unpopular Days of Our Lives opinion ahead. Since the Sudsers' debut in 1965, it has spawned decades of super couples for fans to fall in love with. The 60s gave us Tony and Marie, Ben and Addie, and of course the beloved Tom and Alice. The 70s had us hooked on Mickey and Maggie, Doug and Julie, as well as David and Valerie. The 80s was the decade of big hair and big love with couples like Steve and Kayla, Jack and Jennifer, and Bo and Hope. The 90s ushered in a new generation of loves such as Austin and Carrie, Lucas and Sami, and John and Marlena. And the new millennium has given fans no shortage of young lovers to root for, the likes of which include Sean and Bill, Sunny and Will, and Chad and Abigail. But an unlikely pairing is also on that list, Brady and Kristen, played by Eric Martsolf and Stacey Hyduck, are together based on personal bias. Aside from the off-the-charts chemistry both actors exude when sharing the screen, the Bristons, whether they like it or not, are each other's soulmates. Kristen DiMera and Brady Black rehash old history. Sparks between Brady and Kristen first flew after Kristen returned to Salem after an extended hiatus, and the pair served together on the church board. Brady took the job to keep an eye on Kristen, assuming she was back in town to seek revenge on Brady's dad John and Marlena. His suspicions turned out to be correct. Kristen planned to make Brady fall in love with her and dump him as a way of getting back at John for doing the same to her. Unfortunately, the plan backfired when Brady presented her with paperwork to adopt a child on their wedding day, and she realized she has fallen in love with him too. But this is Salem, where true love has never run smooth. Marlena exposed Kristen's plan. Brady called off the wedding. Kristen drugged and raped Brady's stepbrother. Brady and Kristen got back together. Marlena inadvertently played the video of Kristen raping Eric at Brady and Kristen's wedding. Brady left Kristen at the altar. Brady knocked up another woman. Kristen stole that woman's embryo and implanted it into herself. Kristen created a face-shifting mask that made her look like Nicole and apparently shape-shifted her entire body to look like hers as well, and tricked Brady into sleeping with her. Kristen got pregnant again and gave birth to daughter, Rachel. Rachel's great-grandfather kidnapped her and told her parents that she was dead. Kristen found out and stabbed him. Kristen went on the run with Rachel. Kristen withheld a life-saving orchid from a dying Marlena. Brady took full custody of Rachel. Kristen took full custody back. Kristen stole and demolished Brady's car to keep the Salem PD from implicating him in the hit and run that left Sarah Horton potentially paralyzed. We've all been there. Brady Black reunites with Kristen DiMera. Even though Kristen and Brady have been on the outs for some time, spoilers tease that the pair might be headed for a reconciliation of sorts. While Brady has no recollection of the night that Sarah was hit, Kristen has pieced enough together to know that all roads seem to lead to her ex. Instead of taking what seemed like the perfect opportunity to ruin Brady's relationship with Rachel for good, Kristen instead covered his tracks, ensuring that the evidence connecting him to the crime was destroyed. As evil and vengeful as Kristen can be, she has always had an Achilles heel when it comes to Brady. It is often forgotten that when Kristen first came to town in 1993, she was actually well-liked by most of her fellow Salemites. Despite her last name, she had a reputation as being a sweet, caring friend of Jennifer's whom Alice Horton schemed to get John together with. It wasn't until she lost John to Marlena that she became the villain we all love to hate. Kristen DiMera and Brady Black bring out the best in each other. But Brady brings out some of that original Kristen we so rarely get to see. When they are together, we see that softer side of her that she keeps so well guarded, even she forgets that she has it. While Kristen is known for her loyalty to the women who have helped her over the years, Lonnie, Ava, and even Gwen, men only seem to be pawns in revenge schemes, except Brady. He is the only one who was able to break down her walls and find the key to her heart. A key that she's never been willing to give to anyone else. And despite internet opinion to the contrary, she brings out the best in him as well. Brady has always had a bit of a hero complex. Okay, he's had the biggest hero complex of any character on television. If there is a damsel in distress within 100 miles, Brady is immediately in love, which has had dire consequences. Always playing the hero has forced him into a pattern of falling for women who need rescuing. Kristen is the only one who has ever been a true independent woman. She may be on a first-name basis with the devil himself, but she has never needed Brady or anyone else to save her from herself. Kristen is the only relationship in which Brady gets to play the distressee. As we've seen this week with Kristen coming to his rescue, she allows him to take off his cape and just be ordinary Brady. Holly exposed about Dad's death. Sarah remembers accident. Stefan punches out EJ. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of September 2 to 6 promise some explosive moments in Salem. The weekly preview video just dropped, and from the looks of it, drama and chaos will be flying left, right, and center. The Days of Our Lives weekly preview starts with some various and random feel-good scenes from the show, as the daytime drama reminds fans that they are celebrating their 60th season. Hello, everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone has having a wonderful day after watching these videos. Stay with us to see the excellent news of Days of Our Lives. Please hit the subscribe button and watching this video. An explosive confrontation between Stefan DiMera, EJ DiMera, and Gabby Herandez DiMera is profiled first. Stefan asks Gabby if she slept with his brother during the face-off, and the look on her face, plus the shirtless EJ by her side, answers the question for him. As scenes shift, the preview shows Stefan punching EJ square in the face, as a shocked Gabby looks on. As the day's preview video for the week of September 2-6 goes on, Eric Brady is shown returning to town, as he gives Brady Black a hug at the police station. He tells his brother that if anyone understands the situation, it's him. As the scenes shift, a conversation between Holly Jonas and Tate Black is shown. The two are in the park as Holly asks Tate what Eric has to do with her father being killed by a drunk driver. She looks confused, and Tate has a look of regret for spilling the beans. As scenes flash quickly, there's one of Holly, alone and seemingly crushed by something she's heard as she flings her hands over her face. A voiceover of Eric telling Brady in another scene can be heard as he says, "I was the one that caused her father's death." Eric is shown approaching a sad Holly at the park, so it looks like the truth about Eric's role in Dr. Daniel Jonas's death will be revealed. Lastly, the day's promo closes with an intense scene at the police station between John Black and Brady, as his father angrily tries to convince him that he doesn't know for a fact that he ran Sarah Horton Kiriakis down. As scenes begin to flash of the fateful night Sarah was run over, and Fiona Cook's role in it all. Sarah is shown on her bed with Sander Kiriakis on one end and Fiona on the other, as she reveals, "I remember." Will Sarah remember that her mother-in-law was the one who hit her, and not Brady? Channel's steamy secret exposed. Stephanie and Alex moment. Hattie versus Bonnie. Days of Our Lives spoilers for September. 2 promise some interesting moments as a new week in Salem kicks off. First, looks like Johnny DiMera is about to find out something about Channel DiMera. Added teasers imply that Johnny will have an uncomfortable epiphany when it comes to his wife. Will he learn about her threesome with Alex Kiriakis and Allie Horton from back in the day? Speaking of Alex, he'll be nervous about his body and soul edition, so Stephanie Johnson will be on hand to help him prepare. The two will likely run lines together, and as he's auditioning for a soap, will they share a moment? Will the scene call for Alex to kiss his leading lady? There will definitely be something passionate within his lines, so fans need to brace for some sparks to fly between the two exes. Speaking of body and soul, 2 other actresses on the show will have a confrontation. Day spoilers for Monday, September 2 reveal that Hattie Adams will draw a line in the sand where Bonnie Kiriakis is concerned. This is interesting since the 2 women have always been friends, and scheming partners for that matter. What will their conflict be about? Lastly, Paulina Price will have a freak out, where Abe Carver is concerned. Has he done something to upset his wife, or is this over his health? Abe suffered from memory loss for a very long time, so it would be easy to understand if Polina was worried over something he says or does. Then again, he may be stressed about body and soul, which would concern Polina too. Gabby's tempting EJ offer, Ava's dire circumstance, Stephanie's moment. First off, Gabby Herandez DiMera is scheming up a revenge plan to get back at Stefan DiMera for his lies and betrayal. And it looks like she'll present EJ DiMera with a tempting offer. EJ and Gabby have never seen eye to eye, especially as of late. But as the old saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Could EJ and Gabby also dabble in a romance or hook up at the very least during this revenge scheme against Stefan? Across town, Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday's show warn that Ava Vitail is quickly entering Connie Walensky's radar, and fans know that bad things happen to Salamites that poke at the psychopath. Days viewers should gear up for a massive confrontation between the two ladies, where Connie threatens Ava. The mob princess may fluff this off. However, the last thing anyone should do is underestimate Connie. If the woman snaps, Ava could find herself tied up in Connie's apartment, next to Melinda Trask. Speaking of, Melinda will wake up to the truth about Connie during Friday's show. The good news is that Melinda is still alive and well, despite being poisoned, but for how long? Will she be able to escape the current situation she's in? Salem's former district attorney can be crafty when she wants to, so here's hoping she comes up with a way out. Lastly, Stephanie Johnson is set to have an emotional moment when Jada Hunter shows up at her door. Day spoilers hint that Jada's visit will be about Everett Lynch. Everett didn't have a next of kin, so it sounds like Jada may drop off the late man's ashes, since Stephanie was the closest thing he had to a family in Salem.